Hey, it's time for another creative spark plug. In this one, I'm just doing something very simple. It's a simple paper sculpture technique. I call it fold and cut because all you need is a piece of paper that we are going to end up folding and cutting, doing some other folds, and we're going to create a three-dimensional effect with it. So all you need is a piece of paper, drawing paper, construction paper, cardstock, almost anything will work, and a pair of scissors, and we can get started. So let me go ahead and flip this over. And we'll go ahead and do the fold and cut. All right, so I got my paper, got my scissors. I'm just using a piece of cardstock, 8.5 by 11 inches. Um, and you can fold your paper anyway. I think folding it in half is probably just the simplest. So I'm just going to fold this in half. And you don't have to be super specific with this. It's okay if it doesn't line up perfectly, but I am going to really make my crease nice and flat. Okay. Before I cut though, I'm actually going to reverse the fold. So when I reverse the fold, I'm going to open up the paper and then I'm just going to fold this back so it will fold on this original fold. And what this does, it just really makes almost like a hinge that this paper can really kind of just go back and forth really, really easily. So anyway, so now that I have my paper folded, I'm going to keep it folded. So this is parts of the fold, and I'm going to cut two slits. And you can cut these as far apart as you can, but for our purposes, I'm going to do about an inch or 2 inches apart. You can cut the slits so that they're the same size, or you can cut one so that it's longer than the other. So I've got my two slits about 2 inches apart, and then I'm going to fold the tab. So now there's like this little tab here, and I want to fold it so that the fold ends at the end of the slits there. So if your slits are different sizes, your tab's going to be angled just a little bit. So again, really make sure that that's creased. I'm just going to use my fingernail and really like press that down, increase it. And just like we did with this fold, I want to reverse this fold. So I'm just going to take this part and wrap it around and fold it back the other way. Again, this just kind of makes more of a hinge. So by folding the paper, and we can stand it up and make it three-dimensional. But what I'm going to do is actually make this little tab like a pop out. So I'm going to open up my paper, but I'm not going to open it all the way. So the paper is still slightly bent, but I'm going to take my finger and just push right on the fold and push that tab through to the other side. And so there it just becomes three-dimensional. So the tab now folds in the opposite direction. And whenever I turn it this way, I have that little pop-up. And this is actually a very easy pop-up technique if you're doing like pop-up cards and things. But that's, pretty simple. So that I could keep doing that here and here and create more. But I'm going to do a variation. And this one is only cutting one slit. So I'm going to cut one slit, and it can be longer, it can be shorter. And then what I'm going to do is to fold two triangles, one above the slit and one below the slit. And so I want the the end of the slit right there to be the point of the triangle. So I'm just going to fold this down, and I want it to fold all the way over to this original fold. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing up here, fold it up. Okay. And so now I have these two triangles folded. And then just like before, I want to reverse the fold. Reversing the fold just helps me to be able to push it through to the other side. So I reverse those folds, and then I'm going to unfold them. So again, they kind of flap back and forth. And then just like I did with this bigger tab here, I'm going to open it up. But now I have these triangular folds. I'm going to push my finger through just like I did before. Oops, maybe. And there it goes. And so now those triangles go through to the other side, and I have that little triangular like diamond shape. Okay. So yeah, so those are the two basic ones, to have two slits or one slit. I'm going to do a variation of the two slit one, and I'm going to do one where it's a short slit and a long slit. And then again, I'm going to fold it, but again, I want the fold to line up with the ends of the slit. the slits. So then press this over, fold it over. So now you can see how that's angled, and then do it the opposite way. Okay. So that's reversing the fold. I bring it back uh, unfolded, and then I open it up a little bit, and then I can push that part all the way through so that it pops on through and creates this hole. And then now I have three of these kind of sh pop-up shapes on this side. So I could stop there, but what I like to do is I like to fold the rest of the paper. So I've got this little space here. And maybe I'm going to do a longer one. Again, just cutting two slits about the same length. Going to fold that over. So use my fingernail to really flatten that crease, and then I'm going to reverse the fold. So I'm just going to take that and fold it back over. Again, doing the reverse fold just makes that real flimsy, more like a hinge, so that when I open this up and I push this through, it's easier to pop through to the other side sometimes. So with this longer one, it's kind of taken a little bit. There we go. And I push it through. Okay. Um, so let's go ahead and do one on this side. So I'm just going to kind of keep that all folded, fold this over. Then maybe on this one, maybe right here, go ahead and just cut a single slit, and then I'll do the triangles. This time the triangles can be long, as long as the one end lines up with the end of the slit. I do that two triangles, one on top of the slit, one underneath it. And then just like before, I want to reverse the fold, open up the fold, open up this bigger fold. So now I have this big diamond shape that I can then press through to the other side. So sometimes it takes a little bit. Okay. There we go. Go through. All right. And there we have the three-dimensional single piece of paper, and I just did a few cuts. I can kind of continue this. It takes a little bit of finagling, but like right here, so I have a fold here. So if I take, and I'm just holding it in an awkward way, but I can take my scissors and cut two little slits, one there, come down here, cut that there. Okay. And then I can do the same thing. Fold it over, take it and reverse that fold, and then take that little part and press it through to the other side. So now when I look at it from that side, I've got this little part that's sticking up. And you can do that as many different times. As long as you have a fold, you can cut the slits and keep going with it. So you can get pretty creative with these. But there you have it, the fold and cut, as I call it. All right, so a quick, easy thing to try. It's a lot easier to demonstrate. So if you read the directions of how to do it, sometimes it's a little bit confusing, but hopefully the demonstration has helped you. But it's just a quick, easy thing to try. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes, the more you understand how to do it, and the more creative you can get with what you do with it. So try it out, see what you come up with. And always, share it and tag me, and I'd love to see what you do with it. So enjoy and happy creating.